What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome back to AFK Arena. It is that time once again, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta do a labyrinth speed run. Now, I know you're looking at these hours right here. You're like, FG, you got 4 hours. How is this a speed run? Well, number one, FG got a hot Tinder date. So I can't be just sitting here dilly-dallying around in the AFK world. I gotta go out in the real world, ladies and gentlemen. So that is that. Normally I do like evening dates, but this time is a daytime date. So it's kind of throwing my schedule off just a little bit. But I'm gonna make time for AFK Arena. So let's just kind of jump into here and see what we can do. And actually, to be honest, since we've already pretty much done these runs before, let's do a story time, shall we? Silver Arrow, ladies and gentlemen, 20 plus damage to factional damage. Yes, let's go. So, Tinder, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on a hot Tinder date tonight with a curly-haired wife. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Oh my God, I shouldn't say that. Could you imagine if one day she listens to this video and she's like, curly-haired wife? What the heck is that? So, we're not gonna call her that, even though I just did twice. We're not gonna do it anymore from this point on. So anyway, I'm on Tinder, as you do. Let's see what I want to get here. I want to go for accuracy and crit rating. Looks like I'm going to get this wagon no matter what. No Lightbearers, but you're cute, so we're going to go for that. All right, so let's keep going. I'm on Tinder, as you do. Now, if you guys have ever used Tinder before, free to play, if you're a free to play Tinder user, you guys know you get 1 super like per day. Now, I'll break this down for the people that have been in relationships and married and never used Tinder before. I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick tutorial. So when you swipe right on Tinder, there is no guarantee that that girl will see you anytime ever. Ever. There's no guarantee. You just get shuffled into the deck of all of the other sweaty dudes in the world, and she might never see you. Life leech, we'll take that. Fountain, we'll take that. Let's keep going. Boom, recover my health. I like it. Let's go for the hardest one. Where is it? There we go. Boom, let's keep going. So anyway, so if you're free to play and you're on Tinder and you're just normally swiping right, there's almost a literal guarantee that the girls that you're swiping right on will almost never see you. However, there is a pay-to-win mechanic, ladies and gentlemen, called the super like. Now, everybody gets a free super like every single day. Like, everyone gets a free gacha pool, all right? Hold on, let's see. Frontline heroes deals more damage the more HP they have. I'm gonna go with that, actually, because I'm gonna look for that one thing that kind of makes their HP really low at the beginning. So I feel like that's gonna screw me over. So anyway, if you're free to play, you get 1 super like gacha roll every single day on Tinder. Every 24 hours, you get the guarantee that when you super like a girl or a guy, whatever, that the next time that person logs in, they will see your smiling face or your hot bathroom pic with no shirt on, or your yoga pants pose, whatever you like to do to attract the opposite sex. I'm not hating on you. Let's see. I don't like any of these. These are all like crap. But I think, is this guy's name Rain? No, Morvis. God, I gotta learn the names. So anyway, so the next time that they log on, they will see your smiling face at the top of their deck, and then you have a better chance of, if you kind of know what you should be looking for, right? If you kind of know what type of girls or guys you attract in your level range, right? You don't want to over-level yourself, right? If you're like a level 5, you want to make sure you stick around the dungeons that are around level 4 and 5, maybe even 6, depending on if you got some skills. What am I talking about now? I have no idea. But you know what? We're going to keep going with it. We're going to go with that. I don't need you because nobody is dying. Abandon you. So I get on there. I see the curly-haired waifu. I give her my once-a-day super like. I throw it all in, ladies and gentlemen. And to my surprise, we match. And after we match, we actually start talking. So that's something else on Tinder. Just because you match someone doesn't necessarily mean they're even going to talk to you ever. You know how many matches I've gotten on Tinder where it looked like, hey, what's up, girl? We match. Hey. No response. No, I think a lot of people, men and women, probably just use Tinder to give themselves that little ego boost. You know what I mean? Just be like, look at what I could pull, but I'm too lazy playing AFK Arena, so I ain't got time to be matching with dudes on Tinder, or girls. Let's see. Wilder heroes, Greyborn heroes. I guess we're going with that. I barely read what was going on there. All right, labyrinth floor, number 2. So we match. We actually start talking. And not only, so this is another, there's so many layers to this. So first of all, you gotta match. Second of all, you gotta talk, right? They have to actually respond. And third of all, they have to actually talk and not give you just like one word answers like, hey, how you doing? You know, what are you studying in school? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I study math. And they just don't say anything else. Like they give you nothing to work with. So all of those bases she covered because she actually spoke about things and she actually initiated the conversations. So far, so good. We matched. She didn't ghost. I used my super light. She talks back. Everything is good. So what else, FG? What else made you want to go for this curly-haired waifu? Well, her gift game was way strong. Way strong. Now my gift game, or GIF, whatever, I'm not gonna judge you. My gift game is way strong. I talk in GIFs. I can have a full conversation in text via GIFs, and so could she. So I was like, all right, girl, I see you. Let's do, I'm gonna go with that one again. I'm gonna go for the abandoned wagon just to grab, I guess, a random hero. We're gonna go for you because you are cool. And then we're gonna skip the abandoned wagon that time around. And what I'm also gonna do, just because I don't really like you too much, we're gonna put you in. There you go, start marking some targets. So anyway, gift game way strong. Good conversationalist. Hot curly-haired waifu. So far, so good. Single, likes me. Those are also good points as well. So I'm like, all right, it's time to go ahead and seal the deal. Now, if you've used Tinder before, let me give you a little FG tippy. We're gonna go for strike damage, of course. You can't be sitting around on Tinder playing pen pals all day, all right? You gotta eventually see if the vibe is good, see if you guys are flowing, then go, boom, let's meet up. When's the next time you're free? Let's go out, let's do something. You gotta seal the deal. If you sit around and play pen pals all day, someone else is gonna scoop in and steal your... I gotta stop saying waifu, just in case this video gets out one day. So you gotta make sure you seal the deal. Now this is where I think mistake is too strong of a word. I don't want to say mistake because it's not a mistake, but it's something that I didn't mean to do. So I set up a date. Now, normally 20 times out of 20, I set up a date on the happy hour times because, you know, for whatever it is, 2019 still doesn't matter. Guys are still low-key expected to pay for the first date, all right? So do yourself a favor, either meet for coffee if you're into that kind of stuff, or meet for a happy hour, so that way you minimize the expense on yourself, all right? This is like playing a hero collector, right? You don't wanna just spend all your money on the generic gacha. You wanna use the step-up gacha. You wanna use the gacha that has the higher rates with the guarantee. Those are the gachas you wanna go for, all right? So you wait for the happy hour. Now this is where, and once again, mistake is too strong of a word. I just didn't mean to do it. I set up a date on a non-happy hour day, and I didn't mean to do that. So luckily the date, you know, worked out. Everything was great. But when I saw my tab at the end of this date, I was like, Lord Jesus, what have I done? If this was like a catfish or something like that, I'd have been so angry. Luckily, like I said, let me preface all of this. It wasn't a bad date. Everything was good. It was a little bit more expensive than I would have normally spent on the first date, but luckily she was worth it. However, I didn't know that when I was walking in. Anyway, back to the date. So I go to the date spot. You know, I'm there early, on time. Let's see. We're gonna go for let's do this. Let's start building up this defense for every battle that we win. So I'm there. It's so another little thing here. So the place that I picked, literally up the street. I could walk there if I wanted to, but I was like, hey, where do you want to meet? How about this place right here that's really close to me? But I don't tell them that. FG move. So I'm there on time, AKA early. She's a little late. I'm not gonna lie. I was feeling like, wait a minute, am I getting ghosted? Like, is a ghost happening? She was there about, I would say about 7 minutes late. 7 minutes late, ladies and gentlemen. And here's what makes it worse. Hold on, let's see. Cocoon, we're not worried about that. Do I have intelligence-based hero? I'm sure I have at least one. I guess Belinda, but I can't confirm nor deny that. Let's keep growing. She's 7 minutes late, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what makes it a little bit worse, is that she didn't text so we were supposed to meet at 7, right? She was there at 7:07 or something like that. She didn't text at 6:58 to say she was going to be late. That I think it's necessary. I do. All right. If you're not going to make it exactly at 7, just in a text, say, hey, I'm in the parking lot. I'm driving up. I'm going to be a little bit late. Because for that 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, when she didn't show up and I didn't see her, it felt like it was the worst thing of all time. I'm telling you, 7 minutes of feeling like you just got ghosted by someone who had a mad gift game. I thought she had a mad gift game. So I'm expecting her to show up. We're hitting it off in text, so I'm thinking this is gonna be great. Hold on, FG, let's get back here. How about the surviving heroes get a little bit of that? Let's see what this wandering trader is all about. Too expensive, too expensive, too expensive. 40% off for some little skill essence. I'll take that. See you later, Mr. Wandering Trader. Let's keep going with all the hard ones. So anyway, she finally shows up, and thank Joshine, ladies and gentlemen, she's not a catfish. So let's pause the story just for a second. So a few weeks prior to this date, I did go on a date with someone, and she was a total catfish. I mean, once she showed up, and this is gonna anger some people, but whatever. You know what? She caused it herself. So she shows up, same exact date place, by the way, same exact date place, but this time, and this never ever happens. We're gonna go for this dodge plus 40. This never happens. It's really busy the day that I decide to do this other catfish date, and the person's like, hey, we have to seat you if your name comes up. So, you know, you just can't be standing around here. So my name came up, she wasn't there yet, so I had to sit down. This never happens. Never, ever, ever happens. So I'm seated, and I see the catfish walk in. And immediately I was like, okay, those pictures were like 10 years old. Weight was different, height was, I mean, everything was just not what she appeared that she said she was going to be. All right, it was a total catfish. So what did I do? What do you think FG did? You know, I'm not super proud of it, but I am a little bit. So in this restaurant, the exit and the bathrooms are right next to each other. At this point, the only thing I had on my table was water. I saw the catfish, walk in, and it's a long distance before the lobby and where I was seated. I left. I went to the bathroom, didn't come back. She catfished me. I know it's kind of messed up. I know I should have been mature. I should have been like, hey, this is not what I signed up for. You know, you're a little disingenuous with your pictures. I'm going to be an adult and say, thank you. You know, have a good day. See you later. I'm not into it. I could have did that. That takes a lot of adulting. And let me be honest with you, I'm not that mature. So didn't do it. I'm going to go to this abandoned wagon real quick because I lost my girl. I'm going to take a little side tank here. All right, I'm going to do that. That's going to work out. So yeah, I completely just ditched the date, went out the back door, never talked to her again, immediately blocked her, and then unmatched her on Bumble. This was Bundle, not Tinder. Anyway, let's go back to the good date with the curly-haired waifu. So she finally shows up, and this is where I was like, uh-oh, this is not working. Because we meet, and the energy and the fire that we had on text, oh my God, I'm getting destroyed. It didn't translate in real life. There was a lot of dead air going on, and I was like, uh-oh, maybe not. This doesn't seem to, man, I need to go over here. What happens if I do this? Dang it. How do you get this? How do you even get that? Oh, well, I gotta resurrect. But yeah, once we actually met in person, the fire wasn't there. There was a lot of dead air. There was a lot of, well, tell me something. Like, it was just like really not there. Now, eventually, you know, the more you start drinking, we ordered a couple drinks. The more you start drinking, everyone opens up. But it just didn't feel like we had the same amount of fire that we had via text message. So we had our drinks, we had a little bit of food. We went to a second place. I had a couple more drinks, and it started to feel a little bit better. But it still didn't feel right. Like, it just didn't feel like, it almost felt like, you know, and once again, I hope she never sees this video. Kind of felt like she was just kind of humoring the situation. Like, well, I'm here. He's not the worst guy in the world. I might as well stick around. That's what it kind of felt like. And I don't know. I just didn't feel a good vibe on that date. I just didn't. I liked her. She looked good. I thought it was that sounds so superficial. She looked good. It was good. But I didn't get a really good vibe on the first date. I didn't. So after the first date was over, you know, I sent her a couple of texts that night, and then you know how people are. People are dumb. And I'm talking about myself right now. People are really dumb. I decided, you know what? Let me see if she texts me, right? So I text her that night, but I didn't text her the next day. She didn't really text me the next day either. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess she kind of felt the same way because she's not, we don't have the text fire anymore. So it looks like maybe now this didn't really work out for us. So, hey, whatever, you know, take it as a learning opportunity. Some dates are good, some dates aren't, whatever. So that was the first date after the date. The next day I said, screw it, whatever. I just sent her a good morning text. You guys know the good morning text move. I just sent it just to see what happens. She didn't text me the whole day prior after the date. I was like, let's just see what happens. What do I have to lose? I sent her the good morning text and she responds rather quickly. And we go back to our normal like text cadence. I'm like, if she really didn't want to talk to me again, she wouldn't like, you know what I mean? She wouldn't entertain all of these text messages and flirting back and forth. She wouldn't go back to it. She would just be really short, or she would just not respond, right? That's how Tinder is. Most people just ghost. So after that, after we started getting our text fire back, I was like, you know what? Whatever. Let's just throw it out there. Let's just see what happens. I throw out another date, second date opportunity. She says yes, ladies and gentlemen. That's today. Well, that's actually not today. Here's another thing for you. So that was going to be Sunday. And then she says, hey, I actually have the day off on Friday. If you don't mind seeing me twice in 1 week, we can hang out Friday and Sunday. So I was like, oh, what the? So let me give you guys a little lesson here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you guys a lesson. Sometimes the feelings that you get on a first date are not always accurate, right? Sometimes they're not. And what I think is what happened, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm gonna use some of my FG knowledge here. I think what happened was, I think she was feeling the same way that I was feeling. I think we were both like, oh man, we didn't do our best on that first date. So maybe each of us did, like, you know what? We all had the same feeling that we didn't do our best in the first date. And we both had the feeling that the other person wasn't really interested. And I think we both did the move where it was like, all right, let the other person text. I think we both did the same exact moves on the first date and the next day texting. I think we did the same move. Let me tell you something. Don't do that move. Don't do that move. I think, and you know, this is a learning opportunity for all of us. I think after your first date, if you like the person, just go ahead and follow up, see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? Them not talk to you ever again? Probably. Is that gonna hurt your heart a little bit? Maybe. But then you know, you got that closure. Then you can move on to the next swipe, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, that's pretty much the story. So that is why I'm speeding through this. Let me check my phone really quick. Well, she just texted me. All right, so I'm out. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later!